What's going on? What's going on? What's going on, YouTube fam? How y'all doing today? Today it's Monday. Sitting here in Pennsylvania. I made a delivery last night, and I'm doing a reset. Had to do a reset. I was only left with 5 hours to drive, so figured I'd reset. I was trying to figure out how to get a reset in before time, but the way it worked out, I've got to do a reset now. So I'm resetting. I'll be available to roll Tuesday about 3 in the morning. So I'm waiting on Shelby to hook me up with a load that I can get off, because I'm starting behind by me starting off on a Tuesday. That's running me behind. So I'm working behind the 8 ball as far as my consistent of my goal, my numbers I like to have in, come Wednesday. I like to be at a certain number on Wednesday. That way, I'm able to cruise the rest of the way, because normally by Friday with this company, getting loads is like, it's almost scarce, pretty much, if you're not already pre-planned all the way out to the next Monday, because this company on Monday at 8 o'clock, that's when the cutoff time is for the week. Last week, man, I'm just coming off a strenuous week. Started behind the 8 ball there, but she worked and worked. We sat, we put our heads together, and she found me a package deal, 3 loads for last week. Grossed me about $7,666 for truck revenue. Now mind you, that's if everything stays consistent as far as the line hauls don't change and the fuel surcharges don't change, which they have a tendency to do. So, but it is what it is. But yeah, it was rough. A lot of deadheading, a lot of loads. These loads they were long loads, long miles, but that was the best plan for the week in order for me to recover the week. Realistically, I spent a lot on fuel. I mean, from coming out of Illinois to Pennsylvania, back to Pennsylvania, from Pennsylvania up to Wisconsin, and then coming back down to Pennsylvania. So y'all can just pretty much figure how much fuel I've probably spent. I spent, just to give you an idea, it's about $2 grand in fuel. And we ain't even talking about the tolls being on the Ohio Turnpike, the New Jersey Turnpike, the Indiana Turnpike, the Illinois, Chicago Skyway. All those tolls add up. So I'm hopefully, man, by the time they get through taking all their truck, my expenses, I'm hoping at least be in the low 3s as far as for this week. Yeah. But man, let me tell y'all, every one of these places I went to held me up. Yes, held me up. All three places held me up. Loading and unloading was just it was frustrating. The only thing that kept me sound was the fact that I was going to be at the end of the week at about $7 grand in truck revenue. That's the only thing that kept Ghost Rider together, knowing that. Other than that, if I didn't have that pre-plan, that 3-load pre-plan in place, y'all would be seeing a different person right now. Yes, you would. You would be seeing the bad side of Ghost Rider. But, it is what it is. Like I said, hopefully by the time, everything comes out, I'm hoping to be, I would love to be in the high 3s, but if I'm in the low 3s, that's good too. That's okay. I like to try to keep my goal for truck revenue for the week at least at the 8 mark. The 8. Anything under that, then it's not a happy home for Ghost Rider. It's not a happy home. It's not a happy home for the truck. But man, Shelby's been awesome. I just found out that she's getting ready to move on to new and better things. So once again, shout out to Miss Shelby. Miss Shelby, you were awesome. Man, I hate to see you go, but I understand. You got to keep it moving. You got to, do what's going to work for you in this life. You've got to, do what's going to make your happy family. You got to do what's going to keep you guys flowing, So I understand that. But once again, man, you did an awesome job. I'm going to miss you, because guess what? Now, this other fleet manager, now we're going to have to learn each other all over again. I might, well, not all over again, but I'm gonna have to learn her. She's gonna have to learn me. So, you know, man. Okay, enough of that. But yeah, check it out. So I'm sitting here waiting now, seeing what kind of load is gonna come across the board. Hopefully something that's gonna start me off on a high note, because you always want to start off. It's better to start off on a high note. That way you're not struggling at the end of the week trying to make up a net profit for yourself. Because the first thing, once again, the first thing you should be trying to achieve is taking care of all your truck expenses. So you want to try to first get those first 2 loads, or maybe sometimes you might be able to get it with 1 load, where it'll cover your truck expenses, and then that way the rest of the week you can work on profit for yourself. But as it is right now, I'm going to be starting out on a Tuesday, and so Wednesday's already going to be here. So that puts me personally behind the 8 ball, because come Wednesday, I'd like to at least be up in the 4,000 and 5,000 truck revenue places. You know what I'm saying? I think I said that in the beginning. Did I? Maybe so. But that's just my mindset. So I'm sitting here waiting. Once again, like I said, it was, man, that last week was rough. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. It was rough. It was rough, but we did it. We did it. But I just wanted to come on here and give that update. And man, how do y'all deal with these shippers, man? They just have, some of them just do not have any type of concernment as far as your time and the places you gotta be. I mean, prime example. Let me tell you. All right, I'm gonna tell you this quick story that happened to me, and I want to know how y'all would have dealt with it. I went to pick up this. My first load was in Allentown, Pennsylvania, at the Lineage. If you ever get a load going to pick up or deliver there, beware. Allentown, Pennsylvania, Lineage. Horrible. Yeah, I'm going to say it. Horrible. Because guess what? Ghost Rider is going to tell you when it's good and when it's bad. So it was horrible. First of all, there's no overnight parking there. And it's a narrow street. And when you first go on the gate, you got to have a confirmation number that starts with 04. Any other numbers, then you're going to be up out of there. So make sure you got the right confirmation numbers, or they're not going to see you. Luckily, there's a truck stop like maybe 15 minutes down the road. But you can't stay on a lot. So when you first get there, the gate guards, like, they check you in, and then they tell you what side to go in. You know, it's a big old place. You got one all the way down on the other end, a check-in, and then you got a check-in all the way down by door 1, all the way down on the other end. How about they sent me to the wrong end, all the way to the other end, so I go down there. Mind you, it's raining, snowing, and it's cold. So I go down that way, only to find out that I'm supposed to be on the other end. So then I have to jump back in my truck and drive all the way back down to the other end. So then when I get there, the people, the ladies in the freaking behind the window, yes, I'm going to say it, they're yapping, just yapping. Mind you, you got 5 drivers standing in line, but yet they're holding a gossip conversation, just ignoring us. Like we ain't got nothing else to do. So anyway, finally, they come to the window and they take care. So they get to me. I tell her, you know, yada, yada, do the whole spiel, you know, this is my truck, trailer, you know, confirmation number. She's like, well, okay, you can go to door 33. But I'm going to tell you, it's going to be a while before they load you, because they've got to go on a half-an-hour break. Half-an-hour break? My appointment time was at 4:30. I got here at 4:14. I'm ready to get loaded up and move out, and y'all gonna go on a half-an-hour break? So, okay. Fine. Okay. Mind you, I said all this in my head. I didn't say it in front of her. Okay. So I get in my truck, drive down to door 33. How about there's a trailer in door 33? Wow. So then I'm like, okay, let me get on the phone and call. Because I didn't want to have to go all the way back down there to door 1. So I call. The phone rings, and the phone rings, and the phone rings. So I'm like, you know what, man? I'm talking to me. Man said, huh? I said, you know what? we're going to have to go down there. We're going to have to go back down there. So I swing my truck all the way back around and go back down there, get out the truck in the cold, go into the office, and I'm like, she comes to the door, the window, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I tried to call, but there's a trailer in door 33. Oh, are you such and such? I seen you on the phone. I started to pick up, but I didn't. Sorry. Are you freaking kidding me? Are you kidding me? You saw me calling, but you chose not to pick up? The information you're giving me right now, you could have given me while I was in my truck down there by the door, where I wouldn't have to drive all the way back down here, get out the truck and come see. Anyway, so I'm like, you know what? Ha, 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 ha. Fine. She was like, well, just get in the door next to it. Wow. Okay, so I jump back in the door. Jump back. See how frustrated I was? I jump back in my truck, and I go and I back up into the door next to it. Make a long story short, man, they took forever to get me unloaded. No, I'm sorry, it took forever to get me loaded up. It just took forever. And then they was taking breaks in between that. So I'm like, this place is just, they have no sense of worrying. But then check it, when they get finished with you, they kick you off the lot. You can't stay there. So, Lineage in Allentown, Pennsylvania. If you go there, you can't say Ghost Rider didn't warn you about that place. All right? Okay. So, on that note, pretty much that set the standard of how the next two places. The next two places weren't so bad, but they did take a long time to load and unload. I mean, just long time. It just really messed my time up because I could have gotten here a little earlier, you know, and it would have sped things up. But, you know, sometimes that happens. But when it gets to be over excessive, then we've got a problem. So y'all comment, tell me some times when you've had just a real bad experience at a shipper and receiver, which I know in the trucking business, that's pretty much every other load you run, you know, you're going to run into that, you know. But again, hey, like always, we're keeping it moving. I know it's tight out here. Hopefully now that this winter time stuff is about to get over with, you know, we can get out here, you know, during the spring and summertime and see how things differ. You know, hopefully the economy's gonna get better, you know, but gotta do what we gotta do. You know, we're all out here in this game of life to win, and that's the bottom line. Once again, Miss Shelby, hey, enjoyed you. You know what I'm saying? Enjoyed you. Gonna miss you. I'm gonna miss you. We've been through a lot, you know, some ups and downs, you know, and some stubbornness, you know, but hey, we got the job done. And that's what I loved about you. You always got the job done. All right, y'all. I just wanted to come in for that brief moment, you know, let y'all give y'all a little update. But I'll be hollering at you once I figure out how this week is going. I'll let you know, you know? All right? Okay. Other than that, like I always say, I'm keeping it moving and peace out.